All right, good morning, e-learners. Any questions? Yes. A couple of you did. Luckily, everyone turned in their homework, so it didn't make a difference. But it generally does, because usually I have one kid not turn in homework maybe every class, and then I gotta guess who's that no-name one belongs to. All right. That should be the first thing you do when you get out your when you start doing your homework, is before you write down the assignment or anything, you write your name down first. Yes. What form? What's a DT form? Or your PT form? What are you saying? Oh, GT. Well, I don't have control of that, so wait till she shows up. All right. Okay. Questions on the homework? Nothing? Seriously? Well, that's a good sign or a bad sign. So my other class, they had obviously 23 and 24 gave problems. You guys, no problems with 23, 24?
Well, did we discuss it earlier?
We did. Yeah. 22, read it. What are you supposed to bring every day to class? Your book. So maybe someone could help you out. Somebody read it out. Hurry up.
The value in dollars of Y cents.
The value in dollars of Y cents. So I'm going to go back to one of my old techniques of let's make the problem easier to understand it. You paying attention? Let's say, for instance, you have 800. Let's say, for instance, you have 800 cents. 800 pennies. How many dollars?
$8.
How did you do that?
We divide by 100.
Okay, it's his question. How did you immediately say $8? Oh, so I take the number of cents and I divide it by 100. Now read the problem. I'll read it for you. Now it doesn't say you have 800 cents. You have Y cents. So which one am I going to erase? And put a, and you're done. That's it. Good? All right. Let me call out the answers. Grade. All right, ready? Here we go. Number 2, 7Y.
Is it okay if I did 7xy instead of 7?
Sure. Get into the habit, right? Sometime between this year and next year, we're going to stop using the X for multiplication. 7.y, 7 parentheses y. Y7, well, multiplication is commutative. As it's written, the product of 7 and y would be literally 7y. Number 4, 12 minus v. That's the only way it can be written. Number 6, c plus 8. Number 8, p minus 3. The only way it can be written. Number 10, n divided by division symbol 9, or n numerator, 9 denominator, if you write it as a fraction. Number 12, c plus n. Number 14, 2p plus 7. All right? Number 16, q minus 10. Number 18, y minus 10. Number 20, 10d plus 5. Number 22, well, we just did it, right? You could have written y division symbol 100 as well, too. 23, w plus 1. And 24, 2x minus 1. All right, how many people that consecutive number things caused you conniptions last night? Okay, thank you for being honest, Macy. So yesterday I worked with 2 people for 5 to 10 solid minutes to get them to understand this, right? Macy was 5 to 10 minutes this morning, right? I'm just going to say, this is big boy, big girl math, right? Stay with it, right? This is, and I get to see it every single year when I teach 7th graders. This is the difference between you've been doing math your entire life and you've been getting it instantaneously. Oh, yes, I understand it. And now all of a sudden you don't get it. And I don't get it. And I don't get it. And it's an uncomfortable feeling. And there can be tears involved, right? But you get used to that, right? Okay, I didn't get it in the first 10 seconds. Let's hear it again. I didn't get it in the first 2 minutes. Let me hear it again. Sometimes it just takes some repeated explanations, right, until you will get it. But you should start becoming comfortable with the fact that you might not get it. And it might take a couple days until you get it, seeing it over and over and over again. We're going to start next week with solving equations. And some kids struggle with that as well, too. What's up?
If you don't get it for like 2 days, then don't you have to catch up and learn all the other stuff that you missed?
Well, I'll just say I rarely see a kid that far behind. And I was exaggerating with 2 days. But I'm saying usually what I see is what happened to at least everyone that I helped the last 2 days, which was they were upset because they didn't immediately get it. I don't know. He's saying these words, now he's even getting louder, and I still don't get it. And that's a frustrating thing, right? But I just want you, all of you, not just the people that were struggling yesterday, but the people to understand that's part of math, is that you can struggle mightily. But eventually, you get to where it just all makes sense. But that doesn't happen without a little bit of work and effort. Okay, make sure your names are on those. Who's collecting that? Go ahead, collect. Take a basket right here. Please. Not literally pass it. I haven't had someone pass out in my class for a couple years. Yes.
I was in school. I'll have it done by Monday.
Yes. All right, everyone else. Quiz next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. We'll talk about it on Monday and Tuesday. There's your homework. Copy it down. Thank you. All right. Oh, somebody forgot. 1, 2, 3. Four. 5. We're going to talk about efficiency. Make sure your homework makes it to the basket. All right, here we go. Yes. Number 20. Circle it, I'll grade it for you. All right, here we go. So writing equations. Hey, this is actually going to be a quick class. Right? Quick class. Last class, we talked about writing expressions. I gave you 4 steps. 4 steps. Some of you wrote them down. Some of you are like, I can do this without the steps. That's fine. We also talked about the words that are operation symbols. Operation symbols. Okay? Operation symbols. So we had addition. What were those words? Somebody help me out. Sum.
Total.
Total.
Added together.
Add together, more than, increased by. We had the subtraction words, those words.
Difference.
Less than.
Those were the time. We had the multiplication words, those were.
Time.
Factor. No.
What was
Product.
the $10 word was product, and then division.
Quotient.
Quotient was $10 word. Okay. And then I showed you some examples, blue box right here, right? So a number increased by 3. A number, well, I don't know what the number is, so I got to use a
X
variable.
plus 3.
So increased by 3 means
Plus 3.
plus 3. I pick a variable, x plus 3. Okay? All right. A bit more challenging one, right? 7 fewer. I said if there's one that you will get wrong, it will always be subtraction.
T
Okay.
minus
So subtraction, you really want to write 7 minus, right? You really want to write that because isn't that the way it reads? 7 fewer. Turns out that 7 minus, you're not subtracting 7, you're subtracting something else. But if you write minus 7, now you are subtracting 7. So whenever you have subtraction, be careful. Okay, so T minus 7. Questions? One, you got to be careful with the subtraction. Multiplication, the one that says product, it's a simple one, right? So x times 10, right? Rarely will you see the word times. Usually we'll say the product of x and 10. So this class, we're going to take what we did yesterday, which was writing expressions. And today, we're not going to write an expression, we're going to write an equation, right? What's the difference between an expression and an equation? Yes.
The equation actually has an answer.
Okay. Anything else? What? Mason?
An expression is saying something in an equation to be so.
You guys are way overthinking this. What's the difference between an expression and an equation? Yes.
The names.
True. Different names. Help me out.
An equation is equals
You guys are way overthinking this. What's the difference?
equal.
There's an equal sign. Okay. You might want to say there's almost no difference, right? This should be an easy thing, right? Here is an expression, right? Expression. Here is an equation. What's the difference? Literally, what's the difference?
There's an equal sign.
Well, there are two differences, but one has a equation, right? There is your difference right there. Now, you might say also that an equation has two sides, where an expression only has one side. What an equation does is it shows that two expressions have the same value. They're equal to each other. The left side equals the right side. Kind of hard to see here because this says 2x plus 3. Where do you get 11 from that, right? 2x plus 3 apparently equals 11. Interesting. But yes, for this class, the primary difference between expression and equation is it's got an equal sign. But I do want you to remember there are two sides, left side and right side. So if that's the only difference, how do we write equations? We must need to know the word for,
Equal.
what's the word for equals? Well, what if it doesn't say equation? What's it going to say?
Answer.
Could say the answer to 2 plus 3 is 5. What else could it say?
Function.
No, I need a word for equals. Anybody? Somebody put into words that. You can't use the word equals. Somebody put this into words. Go. Ooh, so what? Say it loud and proud this time. What word did she use for equals? No. Sum was 2 plus 3. She said the sum of 2 and 3. So what's the word that she used for equals? So guess what the primary word for equals is? No pun intended. It's is. Let's write that down. All right. So the words that describe the equal symbol, right? Obviously, we don't need to write this in box 1 unless you would like to. Those were those words for operation symbols. Do we need to write this down?
No.
Okay, so let's go to box 2. The words for equal is what? Is. There are other ones. Well, obviously equals, but total and worth. Total is bad one because it's also the same word we use for addition. The total of 2 and 3 totals to 5. Sounds weird, right? but you could use the word total for the equal symbol. The sum of 2 and 3 is 5. 2 plus 3 equals 5. I will hold off on using the word worth. I have an example for that later on. We okay? So primarily, 95% of the time, I made that number up, but it's close. You're going to see the word is. Is, pun intended, your equal sign. Yes?
Yeah.
So let's do some. Do you see the word equal, total, worth, or is?
Equal.
So guess what is equal to actually represents in the sentence? What does is equal to represent the sentence? What does it represent? Somebody say it.
Equal
The
sign.
equal sign. That's your equal sign. Therefore, anything to the right of this blue box goes where?
The
It's
right
the right.
Of the,
equal sign.
anything to the left of this blue box goes where?
The left
To the left of the equal sign. Now, all we do is what we did for homework last night. One at a time. So I take the green. Where does it go?
left.
To the left of the equal sign. Blue is the equal sign. And I simply write that expression. 8 increased by number x. How do you write that?
8 plus x.
Absolutely not. Why is there a difference? Why is it 8 plus x instead of x plus 8? Go ahead. It says it's increased by 8 increased by x. It doesn't say x increased by 8. It says 8 increased by x. So plus x would be increasing by x. You're like, wait a minute, Mr. C. It's addition, and addition is commutative. 8 plus x is the same as x plus 8. I'm not going to argue that point. That is true, by the way, and I would not mark you wrong. I'm just saying, if we want to write it the way it's written, it would be 8 plus x. What's left? What's left?
The right.
Oh, that was pretty easy. What do you want me to write?
37.
And you're done. So you tell me. Easy, medium, hard.
Easy.
As long as you said last night's homework was easy. If you said last night's homework was hard, well, yeah, it's going to be more hard. It's going to be more hard homework. Okay? But if you think that last night was no problem, then this is no problem. You simply find the equal sign, put it there, and just write whatever to the left or the right of it. Let's do another one. All right, box 3. You ready? Box 3. Antonio, do you see the equal sign? So what word am I looking for?
Is equal.
Do you see an is? First sentence. Do you see an is? Where is it?
Next to the 10.
So that's your equal sign. That is literally your equal sign. Anything to the left of the blue box goes on the left side. So what goes on the left side? Anything to the left of the blue box goes left of the equal sign. So what's to the left of the blue box?
10.
So what do I write to the left of the equal sign?
10.
That's pretty simple, right? What's to the right of the blue box?
T.
The whole darn thing, right? So how do I write 2 less than a number t?
2
And don't you really want to write 2 minus? Right? Doesn't it like almost force you to write 2 minus? Is that what we should write?
No,
What should we write?
we should write T minus.
We should write t minus 2. Antonio, does it say subtract t or does it say subtract 2? 2 less. If I take $2 less from you, I'm subtracting 2 from you. Yes? That's why it's not 2 minus t, it's t minus 2. Which one is the hard one, Antonio?
minus.
Subtraction is the hardest one. The rest you can, especially if it's addition or multiplication, you can write them in any order and it's still right. Subtraction and division are the ones where order matters, and subtraction is the only one that you'll probably mess up. Okay, I already showed you. Where's the equal sign? Where's the equal sign?
Equals.
It says equals. Well, clearly that's your equal sign. Anything to the left of the blue box goes on the left side of the equal sign. Who's got it? Somebody new. What do you got? First off, what are the words that to the left of the blue box?
Twice the number W.
So how do you write twice the number W? What does twice mean? So what do you want me to write? You just literally just said it.
2? No.
Is that the only thing that's there?
Well, a number W is in 2.
So what's that mean, a number W? You've actually said the answer. You said twice means what?
2.
Doesn't mean 2, it means times 2. What's else up there? You just said twice. And that's, you said times 2. Agreed. What's left up there?
W.
Okay. So you said multiply. So what am I multiplying?
W.
Times?
2.
You got to tell me why that was a challenge. You got to tell me why that was a challenge.
I don't know.
Can you verbalize it? What did I or you do to help you out? Okay, so that is the issue right there, right? That is an algebra issue, right? If you're sitting there and you're saying, I'm not sure how he came up with that, right? For me, it's, I break it down into one word at a time. And I said twice. What does that mean? You didn't even hesitate. You said, well, that means times 2. And then I said, well, what's left? And then I went up there and scratched out the word twice, and you said W is left. When you multiply, how many numbers do you always multiply at a time? 2. So you need 2 things when you multiply. 2 and the W. 2W. You just won the bonus round. You get to do the right side now. All right, read it first.
The sum of the number and 4.
What operation symbol do you recognize?
Addition.
Perfect. So which word started the sum? I hate it when I do that. Which word means addition?
Sum.
Can you add? How many numbers do you need to add?
1.
How many numbers? You can add 1 number?
No, 2.
2. So there must be 2 things up there. What are the 2 things up there that we are adding? What are the 2 things up there that you're adding?
4.
4 is one of them.
And
There's got to be one other thing, and it must be the thing that's not scratched through. What does it say?
number.
Well, what was the number?
2.
There's no number there. 2. W.
W. I hate this.
Do you see the word? It says the number.
Yes.
Well, if it just says the number or a number, it's got to be a variable. Remember I said that yesterday? You see the number or a number, it's a variable. Well, we already said the variable was W, right? So therefore, it's got to be W plus 4.
I hate this.
Okay.
It's hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do more.
No. Okay.
Well, okay, so you tell me. If we're weak at it, should we stop?
Yeah. Can we take a break?
Yeah.
Absolutely no.
No.
You got to keep working at it. You're not going to get better if you just quit, right?
I know.
Okay, good answer. All right. Not for her, but for the rest of us. Where's the equal sign?
Is
Okay. Do you see it?
17.
Do you see it? Well, there's your equal sign right there. What's to the left of the blue box? What's the operation symbol? What's the operation symbol?
Addition.
Which words mean addition?
More than.
I'm going to scratch that out and put a plus. Well, you got to add 2 things. What are the 2 things we're adding here?
12 and X.
So what should I write?
12 plus X.
Okay. Why did I write x plus 12? Why did I write x plus 12?
More than.
Because it says 12 more.
That matters.
Well, it is addition. 2 plus 3 is the same as 3 plus 2. But I'm just saying, we would like to write it the way it reads. All right. Hey, I bet you can get the other side.
No.
What's on the other side?
17.
All right. Better?
Yeah.
I know it is. All right, thank you for sticking in. And that's what math's gonna be like the entire year for some things we do, not everything. Some things are gonna be really challenging. If this is your thing that's challenging, I mean, I would say right now we probably got about half the class are like, wow, I'm confused of why the other student is confused. And then I got maybe half the kids that are still struggling a little bit. That's kind of how it works. But we got to continue to work through. All right. Where's the equal sign? Where's the equal sign? There it is. So I write an equal sign. Well, half of that side, what's the easy side, the left or the right side? Yeah, the right side's easy. So let's look at the left side. What's the operation symbol?
Minus.
Yeah, so less than is subtraction. So two things you're subtracting. What two things are we subtracting?
32.
A 32 and m. Now you just got to be careful with subtraction. Are you subtracting m or are you subtracting 32?
0.32.
So how do you write subtract 32?
32 minus 10.
So if I write 32 minus m, what are you subtracting? M. So immediately when I wrote that, she was like, oh, I did it backwards. So I would always recommend for everyone, write it down, because somehow verbally saying it, we get into problems. But as soon as you write it down and you say it at the same time, you can see that you made a mistake. So what do you want me to write?
M minus.
Perfect. And on the other side, I mean, that's good. That's good work. Solid work. Solid work. Last chapter, I said there were two problems that you got to be careful with. What are those two problems? Anything dealing with money or time? Money or time. Okay, so these are the challenging ones. These are the challenging ones. What are we dealing with on the first one? What are we dealing with? Money. The problem with money, why it's a problem, is that you have different units. The two units of money that we have in the American system are cents and dollars. Cents and dollars. Does the problem say write your answer in cents, or does it say write it in dollars? Or does it say nothing about that? It says nothing. So you have the option of writing this answer in cents or dollars. That's a problem. You got to pick. Let's do dollars first. Clearly that says dollars, right? And clearly that says, but dimes are in cents. So if we want them to be equal, they both need to be, well, either in dollars or cents. So let's write it in dollars first. Okay, maybe you've never thought about this. How many dollars are in one dime? How many dollars are in one dime?
Only 10 cents.
And if you said 0, you're wrong.
10 cents.
That you just said there's 10 cents in a dollar.
No, sorry.
How many how many dollars are in one dime? Go. Where'd you get that from? Teacher thing. Where'd you get that from? She said there are $0.10 in a dime. And I did a teacher thing by saying, well, that can't be right. Where'd you get that from? Clearly that means she got it right. Where'd you get that from? It comes from his problem. How do you convert dimes into dollars? What do you got to divide by? The answer to your problem, who was it, you? Yeah. How do you convert cents into dollars? How many? Twice to the left. 1, 2. I was wanting you to say, I divide by 100. You divide 10 by 100, you get 0.1. Okay? That's how you convert cents into dollars. You divide by 100 because there's 100 pennies in $1. Okay? So we move the decimal place twice. So if I have n dimes, I'm not going to write 10 times n. What am I really going to write if I want in dollars? Well, it says n now. Yesterday it said to use a D. Go figure. Now they want us to use an n. But I'm not going to write 10n. I'm going to write 10 is in pennies. I want it in dollars. That. What is this that I'm pointing to? So how am I going to write 10n? I'm not, instead of writing a 10, I'm going to write 0.10. This is now a dime in dollars. What are the two things that are always going to give you problems? Time and money. So this is in dollars. What would it look like if I put it in cents? I put the answer in cents. How many cents in a dime?
10.
So instead of it being 0.1N, it's going to be? It's going to be 10. There's 10 pennies in one dime, if N is the number of dimes. How do you convert dollars to pennies? In other words, you're going to move the decimal place. So therefore, what would I write? I wouldn't write 27.5. I would write, move it twice.
0.2.
You just moved it left. So there it is in pennies. There are 10 pennies in one dime. It says I have N dimes. I don't know how many dimes I have. I've got N of them. So 10 pennies times how many dimes is equal to that amount in pennies. You tell me, what are the two things that are hard to do? Time and money. Time and money. Oh, does the next one involve time or money? Whew, okay, let's do an easy one for a change. All right, where's the equal sign? Is. There's your equal sign. Okay. What's on the left side of the equal sign? Pretty easy. There's only one thing. There's just a T. What's on the right side? Okay, so what do you want me to write?
8 plus 1.
Is that 8 more than 51? 51 plus 8. That's 8 more than 51. You're like, wait a minute. 8 plus 58 is the same as 51 plus 8. Agreed. But if we want to write it the way it's written, it would be 51 plus 8. Could I also write 59?
No. Oh, yeah.
Could.
Kind of.
And next week we will, but not this week.
Really?
Yeah, you're not going to leave it as 51 plus 8. That's 59, right? Okay. I think we need to do 2 more.
I'm good with that.
What's the one, 2 that will be troublesome?
Time.
Time or money? First one involves,
Money.
you should be able to do this one now that you've seen the pattern. You should be able to do this one now that you've seen the pattern. Okay. Is this dollars or cents? Is this dollars or cents? We got a problem. What do you want, dollars or cents? All right, let's stick to dollars. Well, that's already in dollars. I need to convert that to cents. Wait a second, I said that wrong. If we want to stick to dollars, I need to convert a quarter to a dollar. How many dollars in 1 quarter?
4.
There are not 4. How many dollars are in 1 quarter? Say again? 0.20. How did she get that so quickly? She divided by 100, or she just moved the decimal place twice to the right. To the left, sorry. All right, Danny, stay here, please. All right, everybody else, leave, depart. There's your answer. By the way, in dollars, and here it is in cents. Here it is in cents. Okay.
And what's this?
Oh, you guys copy down the homework?
No.
Yeah, it is.
There you go. Departs. Vámonos. Oh, thank you.
One time.
All right, e-learners, I will see you next class.
Wait, what? You learned it for here?